Hey, what is up guys? My name is Tom Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about seed boxes and VPN. Which one should you use? Now I know they're not directly related to the same use case, but a lot of people might be considering which one to use over the other. Anyways guys, let's get into the video. So first off guys, we want to clarify what a Seedbox is and what a VPN is. So this is just going to be the basics. The VPN is basically an app you put on your computer and you're going to connect to a remote server. So you can connect to some other city, some other country, and this will encrypt your internet traffic, everything on your computer, as well as give you a new anonymous shared IP address. So for the basic purposes, VPNs are for anonymity and security. They are very good to use in public Wi-Fi cafes because when you encrypt your internet, no one can snoop and sniff your passwords and stuff like this. They're also very good for torrenting because you can anonymize your traffic from your ISP, so your ISP won't know you're even using torrent activity. Not only that, but they won't be able to see your IP to therefore forward you things from copyright trolls. I made an entire video about copyright trolls and how they find you, and if you want to check out that video, I encourage you to do so. So what exactly is a Seedbox? Well, Seedbox is kind of similar to VPN in terms of how you purchase it. You go to a website and you purchase access to it. However, it's pretty different in that it's not really an application that you put on your devices. If anything, it's more like you're connecting to a remote computer that downloads things super fast. So you're gonna pretty much load a tracker into the Seedbox, and then the Seedbox is going to download it for you there. Once the Seedbox has downloaded the torrent file, you will then transfer that file to your computer from some kind of file sharing thing like FTP or some other way. So basically the benefit of a Seedbox is that you can use a super fast server to download torrent files, but in a lot of ways it's not too much faster than just regular public torrenting because you still have to transfer the file via FTP. So now I want to discuss why use a VPN or why use a Seedbox, which is better. So VPNs are good because they're probably more anonymous. With VPNs that don't log activity, you're not storing any information on a centralized server, which is pretty much what a Seedbox does. Now a good VPN doesn't log, and it is true that you can use VPN with Seedboxes to further anonymity, but for most people seeking anonymity, they don't necessarily need a Seedbox for that. Primarily, what I'll get into later in the video, people are searching for Seedboxes to seed, and they can also use a VPN to do that, but someone who's not seeding that much doesn't really need the anonymity of a Seedbox when they can use the anonymity of a VPN. And we will later discuss why it's not completely necessary to even have a Seedbox in the first place, because Seedboxes are generally much more expensive than VPN services. Now you could get a basic subscription to one for around $10 to $15 a month, but you could get access to VPN cheaper for around $5 to $7. Not only that, but if you want a lot of storage, which most Seedbox people do, you're gonna have to pay quite a bit of money. Here are some prices. So some people argue that why bother with a Seedbox if you're someone looking to store files this way, because you could just buy external hard drives, which is probably going to be cheaper in the long run to store your torrent downloads. There is some argument that Seedboxes provide some level of anonymity, and this is true since you're downloading content from the Seedbox server, not necessarily a public tracker on a website like the Pirate Bay. You're connecting to the Seedbox server's IP. However, like I said before, most Seedboxes are pretty centralized, storing stuff on their servers, so it's not really that anonymous. Another thing about VPN that is cool is that a lot of VPN services provide extra services like proxies, which you can just plug and play in your BitTorrent application and pretty much just forget about it, and it will work really fast and still give you an anonymous IP, but it's actually going to be super cheap. You can actually get it cheaper than VPN. Overall, VPNs just simply have more use cases than Seedboxes. Like I discussed already, you can use them for most anonymity purposes, protect your IP while gaming, torrenting, unblock geo restrictions and stuff like that, access Netflix, change your IP that way, use dedicated and streaming IPs. Overall, there's just a lot of cool things you can do with VPN that you can't really do with Seedboxes. Seedboxes are primarily just for torrenting. And primarily not just for torrenting, but primarily for seeders. One of the biggest, markets for Seedbox is actually people who are part of what are called private trackers. So what you do is you sign up to a website, or you get an invitation to a private, website in which it's just a community of people downloading content, kind of keeping the copyright trolls out. So in these communities, you have to maintain a good seeding to downloading ratio, a seeding to leeching ratio. So you will have to seed a lot. If you don't have a seed box, you're actually going to use your own bandwidth to seed and stuff like this, to share files, and it can be kind of intensive on your computer and bandwidth. So what a lot of people will do, if you're part of a private tracker like this, is use the seed boxes, resources, and have much faster upload rates and stuff like that, which will get them at really good ratios. So if you're using private trackers or private torrent websites, seed boxes are actually quite good and probably going to be better than VPN. Some might argue that seed boxes are a good place to store content for torrenting. Let's say you want to download tons of torrents, but you don't always want them on your computer. This could be a way to do it. However, like I said before, you can also just buy hard drives and store them on there. So it's really up to you if you want to store it on the cloud or have a cheaper alternative, on some hard drives that are probably cheaper. Not only that, but seed boxes actually require a little bit more work than just regular torrenting. You're going to have to add the tracker to the seed box and then download the files from the seed box onto your computer. So it's like another extra step or two. Not a huge deal, but something to consider. Anyways, guys, this is just my basic rundown on the differences between VPNs and Seedbox. What do you think? Let me know if you use a Seedbox down below, or if you're just satisfied to use a VPN and torrent from public trackers to anonymize your IP. Let me know what you think. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you again very soon.